Cosplay. What is cosplay? Well, according to Google, it is the practice of dressing up as a character from a film, a book, or a video game. But if you've cosplayed, you know it's so much more than that. It's hard work, it's passion, it's pure love for a character. For some cosplayers, it's a confidence boost, and for others, it's a chance to show off their body. But one thing I think all cosplayers would agree on is that cosplay is a way of almost acquiring the positive attributes of the character that you're cosplaying by putting on this costume, by working on this costume and spending so much time with that character in your mind. My name is Faust and welcome to Becoming Robin, this series where I am doing one cosplay every month and a photo shoot to go along with it, and transforming my body to do the ultimate Red Robin editorial cosplay. There are three main types of cosplay. Cosplay for fun, which is done just at conventions, and it's just exactly as it sounds. You're just cosplaying for fun, and everyone starts cosplaying for fun. You don't start by doing cosplay for competition, which is another type of cosplay, which again is exactly as it sounds. You cosplay in cosplay competitions. It's a lot more advanced, and usually you have to make the cosplay yourself. And then there's editorial cosplay, which takes character transformation to a whole new level. Not only do you have to get the costume as accurate as physically possible, but you've also got to transform your body to match the character that you are cosplaying. Without that, it is not editorial cosplay. So if you want to do editorial cosplay and you're a really skinny guy and you want to cosplay Superman, you have to hit the gym. It's as simple as that. This style of cosplay is actually heavily inspired by all these actors these days that transform their bodies to act in superhero movies. It's something that we see pretty much every year these days, and it's becoming more and more common. The reason why I'm doing one costume every month is to really document my body transformation. The first costume that I'm going to be doing is Manami from Yowamushi Pedal, and I'm taking this cosplay to the London MCM Expo. The London MCM Expo is one of the UK's biggest, if not the biggest, anime and manga convention. As much as it calls itself a comic convention, it's really not. It's an anime and manga convention. But everyone in the cosplay community goes, no matter what. Right now, I am working on styling my Manami wig for London MCM Expo. The only thing that you will really need for styling this wig is got to be hair glue. This stuff, I wouldn't recommend it for like regular hairstyling, but if you're styling a wig into an extreme style, especially an anime style, it's perfect. It's probably the best stuff that you can get. A few weeks ago, I was very fortunate to find a heat-proof cosplay wig for my Manami cosplay, and I kind of styled it in place and got the general shape, so now I just really want to work on styling it and getting Manami's style. He really does have a very unique style even amongst anime characters. So the technique that we're going to be doing is actually called chunking, and it's you're literally doing as what it sounds like. You get your hair glue, and you separate off a chunk. I like to work from the back around on wigs, just because if you've got the back right, the rest is easy to tell. So you can tell he's flicks out in quite large chunks. So we are literally going to do this. And you can see like this wig was already partially styled. I did that just to make things easier for myself, and to do that I literally just got some hairspray and kind of shifted things about in the way that I wanted, and this wig was actually heat proof. I wasn't expecting it to be heat proof, so also straightened it out before I even touched it with hairspray. So, you know, if you can, just go over your wig, get into the general shape of what you're going to need, and then go from there. Now keep in mind this glue stuff isn't good for every character. Some characters you can get away with just using wax or and hairspray, and those are really for like less extreme styles. And some characters, say like Dragon Ball Z, you are going to need the glue and very strong hairspray. Now, one thing that I see a lot of people doing, and it's a common mistake in early cosplay years, basically a lot of people forget that they're trying to make this character that is two-dimensional into 3 dimensions. So, naturally, hair in 2 dimensions is not going to work the same as hair in 3 dimensions. So you just kind of have to work this hair, try to get it all match up. I mean, perfection's a lie, but you can get kind of close to it. Just keep working the hair. So as I'm styling this wig, I'm finding that parts of it just keep flopping down even after I glue it in place, and I really don't know what to do about it. So all I can do for now is just leave it and try styling it again the night before the convention, or the night before that I try wearing this cosplay while I'm in London, and really just hope for the best. A large part of what I'm doing for becoming Robin is the gym. I've been working with a personal trainer since June, and I've really transformed my body since then. Most of my clothes don't fit me properly at all anymore. It's a really weird situation that I'm very, very happy about, but also slightly sad about because I liked my clothes. One of the most important exercises for me, because I want that superhero body, is deadlifts. Now this exercise bulks out your legs, your back, your butt, I think even your biceps, your abs. Pretty much everything that you would associate with a superhero is bulked out in this exercise. To do this exercise, you've got to kind of tuck your feet under the bar and crouch down and hold the bar, and then stand up, but make sure your back is straight the whole time. And to do this, you kind of got to stick your chest up and your butt out. And you've also got to make sure that your back is the last thing to fully extend straight. I put off doing this for a lot longer than I probably should have, and I was actually really scared to do this exercise, but fortunately my trainer was able to take me through it and make sure that I didn't hurt myself. You see, the thing is, the first time I did it on my own, I did hurt myself quite badly. What happened was I just saw a video of it on the internet and it said, oh, this is a great exercise for bulking out and looking like a superhero. So I was like, great, I'll do it. Watched the video all of once, racked on a whole bunch of weights onto the bar and lifted up the bar, and I felt something twist in my back, and then I suddenly tasted metal and I had to drop the bar and go and sit down. And then I think I fainted for like 5 seconds and I had to call up my mum and get picked up from the gym. It was a really bad situation, so if you can get help the first time that you do deadlifts, definitely get help. What really helped me when it came to this exercise was working with my trainer, like I said. He really taught me form, and then on top of that, to make sure that I was keeping the right form, the other thing that helped me was actually wearing running tights while I was doing them. Because of that, I could look in the mirror while I was doing the exercise and check up on my form and make sure that it was staying right, just to make sure that I had the right silhouette. You see, if you're wearing jogging bottoms or shorts, you can't really see your silhouette properly, so it's really hard to check on your form. Whereas if you're wearing running tights, your silhouette is very blatant. So it's very easy to check up on your form. The running tights that I'm wearing were actually sponsored by this company called Rough Skin. They have this whole line of exercise clothing that's based off of comic books. They're really, really cool, and I recommend you check them out. When it comes to Tim Drake, I was trying to find which attributes of his body are specific to him, particularly in the New 52, because that's going to be the big Tim Drake cosplay that we're doing. But the thing is, he has a big back, big biceps, big triceps, big legs, well-defined abs. He is really well-rounded, but the most blatant part of him is his legs and his chest and his triceps. One of the best building exercises for your triceps and your chest is this exercise called dips, which is literally where you have a bar either side of you and you kind of put your legs in the air and slowly lower yourself down and push yourself back up. And you do this about 10 to 12 times, and then you take a rest for about a minute, and then you do it 10 to 12 times again, take a rest for a minute, and then do it 10 to 12 times again. And then once you find that very, very easy after doing it a couple of times, you start adding weights onto it. It's a really good exercise, and I enjoy it a lot. About 50% of body transformation is the gym, and the other 50% is your diet. You can go to the gym all you want, but if all you eat is junk, you are not going to transform your body. You are what you eat. The diet that I'm doing is really intense at the moment, if I'm honest. I'm having to eat about 6 meals a day, which is insane because I didn't really eat all that much before I started doing this, but I've honestly never felt better and I couldn't recommend it enough. You are going to need meat. The important thing with the meat is that it has to have less than 5% fat. This has 2% fat. I'm sorry if you can hear a bunch of tingling in the background. My cat has gone insane. But this has 2% fat. For now, put that to the side because we'll come back to that last. Then you're going to need a bag of frozen vegetables and sweet potatoes. First things first, you're going to want to get a chopping board and your bag of sweet potatoes. I do the sweet potatoes first. You can actually put in your frozen vegetables first, but so it's kind of interchangeable. I prefer to do sweet potatoes first, and you will see why. I grab 2 sweet potatoes, doesn't matter which 2. I am incredibly hungry as I have had a very busy day, so I am looking for the largest 2. So when it comes to having carbs with my meals, only breakfast, my meal before the gym, and the meal after the gym have carbs, and the rest don't have carbs. This is actually very, very important to take note of. It doesn't particularly matter if some skin gets left on there. I like to get as little skin as possible left on there, but I don't ever go for perfect, but otherwise I'd be there all night. You want to make sure that your peelings are out of the way, because let's face it, no one likes getting skin accidentally in whatever it is they're making, because I don't think I've told you what I'm making yet. I'm making mashed sweet potato, because it's really good, it's really, really filling. Next, get out a knife that is strong enough to cut the mashed sweet potato. If you are under the age of 10, why are you watching me? This is inappropriate. Some of the things I say at least are inappropriate. Keep in mind they don't all need to be the same shape because honestly they're all going to be mashed up soon anyway. They just need to be thin enough so the boiling water will be able to get through them quickly. Okay, so here you can see we've got a frying pan which we're not using right yet, a large pot and a small pot. We're going to put the sweet potato in the large pot now. We're putting the sweet potato in the large pot because out of the 2 of them, out of the broccoli and the sweet potato is the most likely to boil over. Keep in mind at this point, we are not doing macros, which is like a way to sort of micromanage your diet if you're bodybuilding. We're not doing that just yet, we're just kind of like judging from the mirror. So you don't need to worry too much, but that is way too much. So, you know, we're sort of judging by how we look in the mirror. So if you feel like you're bulking out a bit too much, take some carbs away from your diet. So we've got the broccoli in its pot, the sweet potato in its pot. So here's a little trick. I like to turn the fire on early so it starts melting the ice straight away. And that way, as soon as the kettle is done boiling, we can just pour it straight in there and we won't have to worry as much about the water cooling down. Of course, you do need to sort of fiddle them about a bit so they don't end up frying. And don't stick your fingers in there like I just did. So next, you simply get your boiling water and pour it in on top of the sweet potatoes. Some people like to get the water boiling again first before adding it to the sweet potatoes, and I say that order really doesn't matter because it's going to get boiled either way. I like sweet potato a lot because you can do so many things with it. You can bake it, you can boil it, you can mash it, you can make baked sweet potato fries. Don't make fried sweet potato fries because they're really oily and really, really bad for you, and you really don't want oily things. Then a fun little trick that I found out that I don't know if it actually works or not. get 2 wooden spoons and put them on top of there, and then stop things from boiling over. Again, not sure if it actually works, but there's no harm in being slightly safe. So it's been about 5 to 10 minutes. So what we're going to do now is start working on the meat. So let's get to it. Without even thinking about anything, just put it straight into the frying pan. Don't add oil if you've got a non-stick pan, and if you don't have a non-stick pan, please get a non-stick pan, because you don't want to be adding oils and stuff while you're trying to eat healthy. When I first started this process, my diet actually wasn't about bulking out. It was about slimming down so I could see what muscle was already there, but also having enough energy to gain muscle. So because of that, I never had red meat. It was all chicken or turkey. But now I want to bulk out a bit more, I can have red meat. So I'm having a lot more beef. But when I first started, it was all chicken and turkey. Once the base side is turned like a brownie color, as you can see here, just kind of stir it about. You don't need to worry about flipping all of them because everything will get brown by the end. But just stir it about quickly. So next we're going to move on to finishing the sweet potato. So what you're going to need is a sieve. And you're literally going to drain the sweet potato by pouring it all into the sieve and then put it all back in there. Also make sure you turn the heat off because I forgot, and that was silly of me. Then you want to get a teaspoon of something that's not butter. You know that butter that you can get that's made out of olives that I don't really know the name of? Use that, or if you don't have anything like that, then just don't use butter. You don't want butter, point blank. And keep an eye on your meat while you're doing this. Turn the heat on as low as possible. And then simply get a masher and mash. Now here is something that I like to do to give the sweet potato a bit more flavour. I get hot chili powder, shake a lot of it in there. And every time I do it, I have a small heart attack because I think I just put cinnamon in there because they look alike. Just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean things have to taste bad. I think that's like a misconception that people have. And that's done. This is done. The vegetables are definitely done. Okay, so this is the meal done. It's really healthy for you. You got your vegetables, you got your protein, and you got your carbs. A really lazy alternative to cooking that I sometimes do if I'm really tired and don't want to cook is just having a protein shake and some vegetables. But I wouldn't recommend that because in meat you're going to have some micronutrients that you can't get out of a protein shake. So when you can cook, cook. But if you're feeling very lazy, don't worry about cooking. It's cool. Further on down the line, I will be looking at something called macros, which is kind of like micromanaging your nutrition. It's very complicated. I don't know a lot about it at this point in time, but I am learning about it. And as soon as I feel like I have a lot of knowledge in it, I'm going to be educating all of you in it as well. So I'm happy with how my body is looking. I think I'm way ahead of schedule with my body transformation. And when it comes to my Manami cosplay, yeah, there are a couple of kinks, but those can easily be fixed. But I just found out that Hyper Japan is next month, and my only cosplay plan for next month was Nova, meaning I've only got 14 days after London MCM Expo to get my Nova cosplay finished. And on top of all of that, I've got to plan a studio photo shoot as well, and I have no idea where to begin with that. And I need to find a photographer to take pictures for the first photo shoot of my Manami cosplay, and I have no idea how to do that as well. Things are going to get crazy very quickly. Hello everyone, Faust here. Thank you for watching that first episode of Becoming Robin. I can't wait to live through these next 10 months, and I can't wait to see where my life goes from here. This really is going to be a life-changing experience for me, and I can't wait to show it to all of you. These episodes will just get bigger and better. I mean, in the next episode, we're going to London MCM Expo. In the episode after that, we're going to start working on my Nova cosplay, which means watching me learn how to sew, as well as learn how to cut a pattern, and I don't even want to think about that at the moment because that is a lot to learn in a very short amount of time. And I can't wait to show it to all of you.